So in the next few minutes, I'll try to share our experience with Bowman's layer transplantation that we have been doing at our center. It is basically, this technique is to specifically for cases that are not suitable for cross-linking and the cases that are too early for a corneal transplant. So we are trying to fill the gap in the treatment part in between these two stages. No financial disclosures, and one more disclosure is whatever I'm going to tell to you is our very early experience, and it may necessarily not be taken as a clinical this thing. So the scope of this talk would be under the following headings. Bowman's layer is not something new. It has been already been done by Professor Mellis from so many years. There are several publications that he has already published. So we had already gone through this review of literature, and this is his 5 years results of Bowman layer transplantation. From this, I think we tried to do it in our own way by modifying a bit of his technique. So truly speaking, what we are doing is not an isolated Bowman's layer transplantation. In this transplant, we also add 70 to 90 microns of stroma along with the Bowman's layer. So this helps us to increase the central corneal thickness and attain more flattening. And the procedure is relatively less difficult to learn when compared to a Bowman's layer transplantation where you have to peel it. And when compared to Mellis technique, ours is a purely extraocular technique where we don't enter into the AC. So these are the modifications that we have done to the Mellis technique and formed our own technique and done these cases that I'm going to show you. So this is a short video of the procedure that we do. So this is the donor cornea preparation where you debride the epithelium with a 15-number plate and then inject air into the underlying stroma to delineate the Bowman's layer and the anterior stroma from the beneath. Once that is done, you dye it with tryptophan blue. Once the dyeing is done, with help of a 26 gauge needle like you do your can opener, you do a peripheral scoring of the Bowman's layer, which is restricted to 7.5 or 8 millimeters. And then you take your regular crescent and dissect it in the plane you want. So that finishes the donor part of the surgery. Now let's see the recipient's part. So this particular case is a 16-year-old female with VKC. You can see those scarring that you see in the superior limbus. So with the help of Summer-Busak dissectors, I do a complete 360-degree lamellar pocket into the corneal thing. And with help of a lens glide, I glide in the Bowman's layer into the stromal pocket. And then you can gently remove the glide and iron out the folds in the Bowman's layer with a spatula or microforceps from your retina colleague. In this particular case, I have created a side pocket as I could not get the axis beyond the cone. So these are our results from the few cases that we did initially. The pachymetry improved by almost 100 microns and the patient became tolerant to contact lens, improving his vision. This was the first case, which now is almost 2 years follow-up. This is the second case that I showed you in surgery where you can see the scarring also. Though I thought I may need to convert it into DALK, I was successful in performing the BLT in this case. And the cylindrical power will also come down by 5 to 6 diopters, and the patient has again become tolerant to contact lens and doing well. This is the third case. This is done by my colleague, Dr. Sivaram Krishna. He followed the Mellis technique. That's the reason you see the bubble in the AC. And in that technique also, the results were good. And this is the Scheimpflug imaging from Sirius, where you can see the flattening of the apex of the cone. And not only the vision, but also the quality of vision. If you see, these are the higher order aberrations that are there pre-op and post-op, both comma and higher order that are specific to keratoconus that have considerably come down after the surgical intervention. So my take-home message is BLT is a novel technique and apparently has a beneficial role in progressive and advanced keratoconus. It fits into the gap of the treatment where they are not eligible for cross-linking and also too early for a graft. The primary outcome is stabilization of progression. The secondary outcomes are better CL, contact lens tolerance, and visual improvement. Improvement in pachymetry because of additional stroma in our technique makes it also eligible for a cross-linking in future or simultaneously. Reduction in astigmatism and higher order aberrations was seen in all the cases. This procedure, when performed at an appropriate time, can definitely reduce the need or postpone the need for a DALC or PKP. However, we need to do more cases and have longer follow-ups to validate our efficacy. I think Dr. Sujata Mohan ma'am has joined us. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking time off your busy schedule. I'll hand it over to you. Ma'am will be speaking about Intacs and keratoconus. Ma'am needs no introduction. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you for being there.